Because there's nothing going on in his stupid little head.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
What happened? Your balls drop off?
Get off my lawn. Get off my plane.
I want to suck you off, Steve.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad.
You thinking what I'm thinking, partner? Aim for the bushes.
All right. Good day to you, and welcome to
Hello.
Episode 2 of Aiming for the Bushes. I am Corbin Barnes, here with my co-host, Cole Brandt.
Word gotten.
And BJ Weepy.
Howdy.
For Episode 2, I was the one in charge.
You wore the pants this time, Kev.
The pants are on tight,
Yeah, you had them buckled
and when the pants are on
in a nice belt.
on Aiming for the Bushes, that means you get to choose the next movie. And one movie that I've seen about 1 million times, it was one of those background movies that I'd always throw on when I was like doing something else when I was younger. And that is Dodgeball, a true underdog story.
Classic.
Is it really based on a true story?
No.
No, not even. I mean,
it is not.
I mean, it'd be cool. It'd be cool if it was.
I thought I read about it in the paper.
I feel like White Goodman would be like an American hero. I mean,
White Goodman.
the guy.
He was a villain. If anyone's,
he was a member of his own gym that he created. Like, Globo Gym.
Mm-hmm. That's true. But Vince Vaughn, what's
self-made
Vince
man? That's
Peter LaFleur.
Peter LaFleur.
He saved. He won for the middleman. He won for the average Joe.
He was a lovable loser.
Yeah.
The movie sets us up with a commercial from Globo Gym, which I thought was slightly clever to have a commercial for the gym as an intro to the movie. But we see Ben Stiller's character is named White Goodman, who we previously mentioned, and he is the owner and operator of an absurdly large, futuristic quote unquote, high end best gym you could ever imagine. And
he inherited a lot of money from his dad, Earl Goodman.
Yeah. His Earl. Yeah, gave him a lot of money.
Any of that? There's a word for that, and it's called nepotism.
Well,
I don't like that in the workplace.
Global Gym seems like it might be, maybe not the best place to work. There might be some issues there.
I bet they have good benefits, though.
You think?
They're worth $4 million.
I mean,
they
you know what?
Cup holders too.
I liked how shiny their doors were, and everything was made of glass. And like when I walk into a place like that, I feel like I'm safe.
It's like there's so much glass you get sunburned just being inside.
Yeah, like
that's true. Bring your sunblock.
Exactly. It's like you're outside the entire time.
Yeah. When it was showing that gym in the ad or whatever, I was like, what are the membership fees for this place?
Right? Could you imagine?
They gave absurd. Average Joe's the 30-day free membership for the first month.
That was a bit of a taunt.
Yeah. It was a bit of a taunt, but if that's a good deal. If those are real,
that's a great deal.
I'd take that. They probably hook me in that way. I don't even work out.
I go there for like 15 days and then be I went there half the time. That's good enough.
It would be good enough for me. I'd probably sleep well in there.
You feel like you did something.
Yeah,
did we even mention the name of the gym is Globo Gym?
Globo Gym.
Which is kind of a name that's just like oppressive.
It's like a reference to like G.I. Joe, like Average Joe, and then their enemy, the Cobras.
Yeah.
Oh, that's clever. I didn't even fucking...
G.I. Joe, like the purple Cobras.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And
used to have a lot of G.I. Joes.
In this ad, White Goodman's like, you can turn that Frankenstein you see here in the mirror every morning into a Frankenfine.
Oh my gosh.
And once that ad ends, we see it like pans out of the TV, and we see the absolute opposite type of gym owner, which is Vince Vaughn's Peter LaFleur.
Yeah. Well, White Goodman also says in that commercial.
Oh, my bad. Moving on too fast.
When he's like got like like a burn victim in a wheelchair, and he's like going through the door. It's like, of course, it'll still be you in the legal sense.
Of course you know. You still be
Oh yeah, and
just a better, more attractive kind of you.
It's something about treating it much like baldness or necrophilia. Like being out of shape is comparable to
genetic disease.
I was gonna write
genetic
that
disease,
down,
yeah.
but I was like, I'll remember it.
I know, because that's when we say all the time, but we forgot the fucking quote.
So I didn't. But yeah, and that's when we meet Peter LaFleur, and the rest of the Average Joe's squad.
Yep.
The Average Joe clan.
And also, we keep going back to the commercial because there were so many gems just in that commercial. But at the end, he's like, "That was me 6 years and 600 pounds ago. Before I knew how much I hated myself."
Yeah.
Don't slack, Trevor. I'm watching you.
The subliminal messages playing over the loudspeaker at all times. And then we see Peter wakes up on his couch. He's sleeping on his couch in his completely torn apart, shitty house, and his dog is like going to town on his crotch, which was pretty funny while he was asleep.
Interesting.
I was like, is there some like bestiality undertone there that I didn't notice? But he was like,
what's going on?
He was like asleep.
Come on, guy.
He was like asleep. So who knows? And we hear his voicemail.
Tucker's never done that to me.
No, you never have your dog has never done that.
No.
Would you stop?
Would I stop him?
Yeah.
I don't know. You'd have to ask me in the moment.
That's kind of
as I'm getting
like
my dick sucked by my dog. You gotta ask me right then and there, and then I'll give you whatever I'm feeling.
Yeah, you gotta kind of feel out the situation.
Yeah, that's a situational thing.
It's kind of like in the moment.
Yeah, never mind.
Moving on. As Peter LaFleur wakes up to start his day, we hear kind of like in the commercial we heard like all the great things about White Goodman's Globo Gym, but we hear in the voicemails on Peter LaFleur's answering machine that he's overdue on like his water bill that's 8 months and it's getting turned off, and he has like 3 porno movies that are past due. He's got to return.
Yeah, you got to return those. They don't fuck around with that kind of thing.
When he was brushing his teeth, he took like a swig of the Woohoo chocolate milk and like swished it around and swallowed it. That was pretty.
Also, he also rented Mona Lisa Smile.
Oh yeah,
which you know what? That's at least we're seeing the sensitive side of Peter LaFleur there a little bit. You know,
single guy.
You know, he's not. He's a person. You know, he's not just a dodgeball player. Okay,
he's the straight man. He's the most relatable.
Of course. Yeah. He can relate.
I was gonna mention this. I just didn't. But this movie was directed by Ross and Marshall Thurber, and he directed We're the Millers as well.
Oh, that's a good
and
movie.
he also directed Central Intelligence, which is a movie I saw, but I didn't think it was very good. And
I never saw that because I thought it didn't look good.
Yeah, and then Skyscraper, which I just hadn't seen at all. Yeah, it's 2 of the Rock movies, I guess, under his belt.
It's got to be a record.
Yeah.
Well, whoever
does a
Fast and Furious
I
movies.
think Vince McMahon holds that record.
There you go.
It's a movie every week.
Good call.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. 2004.
Fun fact.
Yeah, I forgot that we were trying to mention some of the stats at the top, but we got into the breakdown right away. I think I got a little ahead of myself.
Hey man, no, you just go with the flow.
I mean, sometimes you just got to truck, man.
Yeah, just got to keep on trucking.
All right, well,
as they say,
I will continue to truck now.
No one to hold him and no one to fold him.
That is, yeah. Who sang that song?
I believe that was Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers. Okay, I was gonna say Johnny Carson, but that was a late night. That was a late night talk show.
Johnny Carson didn't sing country.
I don't know
music.
what I was thinking, man.
There's Johnny Cash.
There was John. I mean, hey,
hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
Yeah,
Down.
That guy had some hits, right?
I mean, probably one of the best ever.
You remember Johnny?
Yeah, remember Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
So we see after Peter gets in his piece of shit car, after we see him start his crappy morning of his crappy life that he seems to be content with, which is nice.
Yeah.
He has to get his car. He has to get his car pushed to the final destination, which is Average Joe's Gym, which is the gym he owns and is comically close to Globo Gym,
like across the street,
like you get a stone's throw away. And we see it's this like 1-story crappy old brick building.
This is like
next to the metropolis of Globo Gym.
Right. This is like living next to the Playboy Mansion. Like Equal to that. Living next to Superman. Like, man, the Fortress of Solitude. Why don't we have, giant crystals out of our roof? We got to keep up with Superman.
Yeah.
Can't.
I think it's a building material cost issue.
Economic thing, probably.
You think?
The economy's in shambles right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you got a point.
Because of the vid.
Yeah.
Because of the,
that darn
Delta. We've gone Delta now.
Skip something. Well, Peter arrives at his gym. It's already seems to be open because there's a couple people there already, and we meet the outcasts that call Average Joe's home. The first we meet is Owen, I believe. Is that his name? Owen, the nerdy guy?
Yeah, Owen.
Oh,
yeah.
Owen.
He was having
Tinder.
trouble on the dating sites, which is still relevant to this day.
Voicemail.
What was the year on this movie?
2004.
04 to 2021. The dating sites are still there.
Except instead of call people, you just, text them like, you up, what are you wearing right now?
Like today?
Yeah, that's what you do today on the dating sites, right? Like, hey, sup, you up?
Yeah, but you got to get them to match back.
Yeah,
that's damn near impossible.
Yeah, that's tough to do unless you're 6'4" or have a puppy. So
I
do have a dog, but I'm a couple feet short of 6'4".
Yeah, if you're not 6'4", I mean, good luck, man.
Yeah, well.
Well, this is a depressing movie. Let's move on.
Yeah. To get out of that moment there, Peter moves on. Jesus Christ, what a transition. Peter gets out of his conversation with Owen by saying later tater, which I added to my vernacular over the years. The next outcast is Stephen Root, who is like the ultimate loser dad, gym dude with the tucked-in shirt and the goggles.
He's in the show Barry with Bill Hader.
Yes, he is.
It's a good show.
He's in a lot of stuff.
You guys watch that show?
No, I've heard it's super good.
I've seen a few episodes. It was really good.
It's only 2 seasons. I've seen the 2 seasons that are out right now. And he plays like Stephen Root. Plays like kind of Bill Hader's hitman boss.
Yeah.
He
keeps convincing him to do the jobs and stuff.
Yeah. He's also in Office Space. He plays Milton.
my stapler.
Yeah. It's probably his most famous role.
Stephen Root's character, also as Gordon or Gordo, affectionately referred to as, he introduces us to the obscure sports of
Obscure Sports Quarterly.
Obscure Sports Quarterly, his favorite magazine.
I cannot say that. Wow, that's
Obscure
tough.
Sports Quarterly. He says it so fast. It's kind of impressive.
It's tough to say. Obscure Sports Quarterly.
Obscure Sports Quarterly. Obscure Sports.
See, yeah, that's tough. The Q. The Q. It's the Q.
It just shows
it's
how
always the Q.
It just shows how talented Stephen Root is.
That's tough.
Yeah, truly, give him an Oscar.
And after Gordo, we move on to Justin Long, who is like stuck in the machine, all crossed up like a goofball. About to hurt himself because he's trying to impress the cheerleaders.
He's a Mac. Did you know that?
He's a Mac?
He's a Mac.
Well,
Justin
he's
Long?
not a PC.
No, well, he's definitely not a PC.
Oh, the commercial.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was a Mac.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You told me to write some fun facts, and that's the fun.
that's what I wrote down. He was a Mac.
He probably still continues to be a Mac.
Return of the Mac. Well, Justin Long's character gives us a little bit of insight into why he's trying to work out, which is to make the cheerleading squad at his high school. And Peter's like, "You're trying to be a cheerleader to prove you're not a loser?" No, things have changed since I was in high school.
Yeah. Remember the movie Tusk?
Oh my God, yeah.
You ever see Tusk?
I've never seen Tusk.
It's by Kevin Smith directed it, and Justin Long is in it. And
traumatizing.
It's like a human centipede kind of thing because he gets kidnapped and then he gets like sewed to a walrus.
He gets like turned in. Yeah, he gets like sewed into
like the body of a walrus.
Yeah,
and he becomes.
Mr. Tusk.
Who's the bad? I don't even remember what the bad guy's name.
What?
Yeah,
Kevin Smith directed that.
Yeah, it's a weird movie.
That's
really weird.
I recommend watching it once and then never again. After that.
Never again. And that's such a odd. Like Kevin, it's not Clerk. That's not Clerks.
No, it's not.
Like,
no, it's different than
Jay and Silent Bob.
It's different than most.
That's very
of the things
different.
When they do the
I appreciate him
like,
trying to do some different
maybe not
stuff.
his most
I guess.
recent movie. I think there was like a new Jay and Silent Bob movie that I never saw.
Yeah.
I get
that is one of his somewhat recent releases, though. But
I love that movie. I love Jay and Silent Bob. Man.
One of the highlights of the movie that I feel like everybody remembers is the flashback sequence to Justin Long's character's tryouts at the cheerleaders before, where we see how nervous he is, and he is super psyched. Justin Redmond ready? Super psyched.
Ready, super psyched.
And then they call up the Chad cheerleader,
basically Chad,
who's dating Justin Long's love interest, calls in number 00, Martha Johnstone.
00, Martha Johnstone.
that.
And she is ready to go. I mean, she's excited.
She's a sturdy lady.
You know what?
She's a sturdy lady.
You know, she's
love.
She's hefty.
Love the energy.
She's a big gal.
Busty.
Love the energy.
Energy was through the roof.
Energy was through the roof.
At a glance, you would probably place her at more of a base. On the cheerleading.
And if you're judging spirit,
put her at the top of the pyramid, man.
She should be the top of the pyramid. She should be the mouthpiece.
Spirit pyramid, yeah, for sure.
But unfortunately, Justin wasn't quite strong enough to keep her hoisted up.
But
he does rocket her into the air.
That guy should be like in the Olympics doing the snatch or something.
That was her jumping with him.
That was incredible.
You know, her name, the actress that played that person, her name was Lori Beth Ginberg, and she was in All That. The Nickelodeon show, All That. She was in the original cast.
All that.
Yeah, she was vital information for your everyday life.
I love that show.
Yeah, that was her. I didn't even look that up. I just knew that.
That's incredible.
Good job.
You're just
pulled that one out of the dome.
Gosh darn encyclopedia, I tell you what.
Sometimes I surprise myself.
Something that I noticed at this part was kind of funny after the flashback sequence ended was how shitty the equipment was at Average Joe's. It was
pretty average equipment for Average Joe's.
Everything was covered in athletic tape and looked like what you'd find on if you were going on the weights on Facebook Marketplace and sort by price low. That's like what all the machines were.
Yes.
And I think the final character we get introduced to at Average Joe's in this sequence is Steve the Pirate.
Oh yeah, Steve the Pirate.
He's a little behind on payments this month.
Where's this treasure that he was talking about?
It was the cash at the end that he didn't know existed, but that was the treasure.
So he knew there would be treasure.
Intuitively, maybe. But I don't think.
Well, I think that's just a pirate instinct. That's just a pirate instinct.
It's a pirate instinct thinking there's going to be treasure.
If you're a pirate,
if you got that hat,
there's treasure that you're hunting for somewhere.
If you have a peg leg, you're going to find some treasure. That's for an eye patch.
He had the.
You might as well start looking.
And he had the bandana, and he had the clothes.
Yeah. Sometimes he wore an eye patch, and sometimes he didn't.
Well,
that's true.
That is true.
Shout out to our favorite pirate themed band, Ailstorm.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hailstorm.
Yeah, we are here. Or fuck you with an anchor. That's a good one.
As Steve leaves, he informs us he'll be on the Stairmaster.
I'll be on the Stairmaster.
Peter LaFleur then enters his office at Globo Gym, where he learns that they're a little behind on payments as lovely leading lady. What was her name?
Christine Taylor.
Married to Ben
character's name
Stiller.
is
At the time.
Kate Veach.
At the time, married to Ben Stiller.
Something must have happened there because they're not.
I don't know. Who knows? I mean,
only they really.
Hollywood relationships.
It's none of our business.
No.
Yeah, that's not my business.
Yeah. Do you know what became everybody's business?
What's that?
Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's relationship.
That's true.
Anyway.
Anyways, let's. Yeah.
Well, that's a whole nother thing.
Peter's like,
go Johnny.
All those things I got in the mail, I thought those were warnings.
She's like, those were warnings. Nobody warned me.
And then they go to sit back down at the desk after seeing the mountain of paperwork. It's just like a fucking mess. He's super far behind on everything, and she's got to sort it out. She's working for the bank. Peter is like, Mrs. Veach, we can figure this out or whatever. And she's like, Ms. And he's like, if there's a Ms. for Mister, then I would be a Ms. Mister type of thing.
I'm a Ms. Mister too. Because I'm like, trying to tell him that he's
he's hitting on her.
If you're single,
let's plant some.
What's up?
planting some seeds.
What's going on?
Some seeds.
Well, not yet.
I mean, pretty sly move from the captain.
But that leads Peter to ask, who would want to buy this place anyway? And we smash cut to White Goodman hitting some squats with his fitness consigliere Michelle. He's like, oh, come on.
That's what I sound like.
Look at involuntary spasm. Look at the show. Enjoy the show. Knocks
involuntary spasm.
Yeah.
And that's interrupted by Peter arriving at Globo Gym, showing that Globo Gym wants to buy Average Joe's. Or goofy imagery at Average Joe's from like the Megatron playing over. Like, there's good energy in the gym.
There's good energy in the gym.
You call that a sit up.
Don't slack, Trevor. I'm watching you.
And I never, out of all the times I watched this, I didn't really notice this, but it's kind of revealed as Peter and White are like walking around talking about how White wants to buy Average Joe's that Peter's like, why don't you like me or whatever? And White is like, does sleeping with 3 of my trainers count in the strippergram you sent for the Average Joe's anniversary or whatever?
Strippers meant to be congratulatory.
He says, when you slept with 3 different of my trainers, Vince Vaughn goes, that was one night.
Like, dang. The captain's got game.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. That was pretty funny. And White goes on to say, my gym is worth $4 million. Your gym isn't worth 4. My gym's got couple. My gym has shareholders. Your gym doesn't even have cup holders.
This and what he did in Happy Gilmore is like some of the best Ben Stiller I've ever.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
his like
I think this is his best movie.
His facials in this movie are what really make it.
Yeah, right.
And the voice that he uses is our like go-to voice that we use for like douchey guy.
Of course. I mean, yeah, he's like the prototypical douchey.
Yeah. And also,
go ahead.
I've noticed at this point in the movie how often Vince Vaughn walks around with his mouth open.
Oh yeah, he does a lot.
Yeah,
dang.
He's always like a little confused and his mouth like that.
Now that you say
there is a lot of shots where he's just like
not even just in this movie, but like any Vince Vaughn movie.
Maybe that's just
Fred Claus. Go back and watch Fred Claus.
Go back and watch.
He's just a slack-jawed boy.
Yeah. Interesting you say that.
Yeah, and then, that's just something I noticed.
Back at Average Joe's, we learned that Gordo finds out that they need $50,000 to save Average Joe's from being bought out by Globo Gym. And I believe White revealed that he wanted to buy it to turn it into a parking lot or a parking structure.
Just like parking for his people. His Globonauts.
Yeah. It's Globonauts.
It is the Globonauti.
Yeah,
it's the Globonauti.
So the Joes are mighty disappointed at the thought that they're going to lose their beloved home of Average Joe's Gym, where they could always go when life was getting them down. Gordo, where do you go when your wife changes the locks? Average Joe's.
Where do you go to do whatever it is that you do?
Gar, Joe's be the only place
Gar.
for Steve.
And doesn't he say? I can't remember what he says to Dwight. I ain't going back to working at no airport.
Because he hated it.
Owen, do you want to go working at the airport again?
He's like. And Justin Long's character is the one going around getting everybody hyped up.
Yeah, like super hyped.
I used to lock him in lockers.
Trying to rev everybody
to
up.
Try to find a way to make money.
He doesn't want to go back to his high school.
I'm not going to go back to the high school. Lock me in lockers, make me clay.
Yeah,
which sounds awful.
This sounds awful. I mean,
ever find myself with a mouthful of clay?
Eating clay?
I'm not
eating clay.
I'm going home.
I feel like that's equivalent to eating dirt, like sand.
Yeah, something.
He eats the dirt.
Yeah, worms don't eat there.
A little throwback to episode 1 there. This is when the gang comes up with, car wash. That's how we're going to make the money.
Good idea to raise
to
some
save
money.
Average Joe's. And we get, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Damn, it's better than yours. And we see all these sexy ladies rubbing themselves on cars as they're washing them. And then it flashes over to the Joes who are just standing there in their car wash gear looking pretty not sexy.
Justin's wearing a Speedo. Let's point that out.
Yeah. And the only business they got is that weird guy that kept paying Justin to wash his truck.
Yeah, right. With the dog. He's sitting there picking at his belly button.
It's like a fucking monster truck. He's like,
he's got a big ass dog.
get in there nice and deep like.
He just really wanted his truck clean. I didn't get that joke, honestly. I just wanted his truck to be clean.
There's nothing weird about that.
Nothing weird about. I mean, but like paying the same guy.
Well, he must have did a good job. If I like when
You
I
don't
get a
think
hair,
there's any coincidence there?
when I get a haircut, I don't like pick a different barber every time. I go back to my regular.
I guess you have a point there.
That's fair.
It's like when
That's
someone.
fair.
It's like when a man, a young high school kid in his Speedo is washing your car.
I mean, that's.
It's kind of like that.
You got a point, man.
Yeah.
I can't argue with that logic. If he does a good job, and if you're looking for quality of work,
Yeah.
then I can't.
It's not just rearranging the dirt. He's getting the dirt
Rearranging the
dirt.
spotless.
You know what? If somebody does good work and they do it for a fair price, and you keep going back, that's just smart.
That's what I'm saying. And I just like to bring my dog with me when I
Yeah,
go.
and you know what? He has a dog too.
That's all I'm saying.
You guys are probably buddies.
Just saying.
All right.
Yeah,
I hope so.
after the failures of the car wash, the gang returns to Average Joe's a little dejected because they did not raise anywhere near their goal of $50,000 to save the gym.
They lost money on the car wash.
Yes, Gordon reveals they actually lost money.
How do you lose money on a car wash?
You
You had
gotta
to
buy
advertise it probably.
Oh, I guess advertising was a good point.
soaps and buckets.
If you didn't have Speedos, you have to buy some.
Okay,
There's
but this is
there's
a
overhead.
gym. They gotta have a bucket and some soap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
Maybe.
There's no way they lost. Not, you know.
I mean, they didn't have a lot of money. Maybe they couldn't afford cleanliness.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and you know
It
what?
seemed like there was only five or six
They
dudes
would have
in
to
there.
buy sponges, and sometimes some sponges are expensive.
I'm starting to think these Joes might be a little below
Spe-
average.
You could
Yeah.
share a sponge with a bro, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or a loofah.
a loofah.
A loofah.
Nothing wrong with sharing a loofah with a bro.
Hey, man.
But waiting in the darkness back at Average Joe's is a cutout of White Goodman with some evil glowing eyes that spews spews Globo Gym propaganda.
Propaganda.
It's like, we're better than you and we know it. Sign up now. And then that's when they leave the taunting memberships to Globo Gym, the temporary membership. At this point, I kind of noticed that it didn't really seem like LaFleur, Peter, gave a shit that they were losing the gym.
Right.
I'm sure he was just ready to have this.
He just seems like
fucking gym out of his
Yeah,
life.
I feel like he's just like a slacker, and he just
He's
easily gives
big
up. And he's
slacker.
like, whatever.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah.
He just pulled out a beer.
He's like, let's just
He
celebrate.
literally
let's just
pulled out a
celebrate the good
Budweiser
times
for
that was
everybody.
Joe's.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll put on the thong song. You know.
Yeah.
he
It's like,
he
you
throws
know,
a
moving
beer.
on.
He throws a
Yeah.
beer to Justin Long's character and he drops it. He
Yeah.
goes to open it and sprays all over him.
Yeah, and they don't even react to it.
Nope.
It just keeps talking.
It's like, yeah, classic. And then Gordo's like, we can play dodgeball.
They're
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
Peter's like, I don't think a game's gonna help any.
If dodgeball was like a real professional sport, I would be a hardcore fan of that.
I'd be
I'd
into that.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? I mean, that
But
would
I
be
feel
amazing.
like dodgeball games don't last very long. Like 6 minutes.
Maybe it'd be like kind of like volleyball where they do multiple matches, like best of 5
I guess.
every
maybe.
night or something.
I think that makes sense, I guess.
Maybe more than 6 people on a team. Maybe 8 people teams.
Yeah. I think that'd be cool.
That would be-
Dodgeball should get some funding.
It needs some funding.
Yeah, we should
Biden-
show dodgeball
Biden-
league.
There's got to be some people out there that
DLB.
are interested in playing dodgeball.
I'm sure there's some
Yeah.
dodgeball leagues out there, but
there's
we
gotta
could,
be some
for sure.
leagues.
There's got to be dodgeball.
I mean, I've never
leagues, yeah.
looked, so
I think we
wouldn't
could take
know.
it to the next level though.
Yeah.
If we inject some capital.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
I put some money into that.
put some money into some
We could be
dodgeball
the
leagues.
dodgeball commissioners, the DLB.
The American Dodgeball Association of America. Like,
let's make it a
reopen
reality.
the American Dodgeball Association of America.
Well, due to Gordon's knowledge of these obscure sports, is how he suggested dodgeball because he saw in OSQ Sports Quarterly, that there's a conveniently prized amount of money for a dodgeball tournament, $50K, exactly what they need to save the gym. I guess we'll just ignore taxes. That's okay.
Yeah, right.
And he is like, Justin, you can get the training footage from your high school, right?
They don't
Justin's like, yeah, I think we can get it.
Yeah.
And Peter's like, that sounds like a bad idea, guys. I'm gonna go to my office and play Mad Libs. So more Peter not caring. He's not in on the idea yet. And after this, we flop back over to Miss
Back to the office. She's in there, isn't she?
Miss Veach?
Yeah.
Miss Veach.
I was trying to remember her name.
Yep.
I wrote down Beach instead of Each. Miss Veach is...
The beach.
Beach. Let's go to the wave. Kate Veach goes back to White...
Why is she always in his office?
And, like, she just walks right in. That's kind of
I skipped ahead.
a crime, right? I mean...
Yeah, she was just kind of there, but she's from
She's got keys to the gym.
I guess.
Well,
Maybe there is no keys.
it is revealed that White bought out like the second mortgage to his gym, so maybe the bank gets a little extra privileges.
Yeah, that would make sense. I
I don't
suppose.
know how that works. It's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Hocus pocus.
Bunch of laws and such.
Yeah.
How
I
dare
ain't got time to learn all the laws.
I ain't got time to learn all those
Can't kill or
laws.
steal. That's enough.
You just leave me alone.
Leave me be. I got one law. You stay off my lawn.
Get off my lawn and leave me be. I want to sit in my chair and watch my television.
Gonna watch my stories. My
Trying to
stories
watch
are on.
my programs.
Don't talk to me when Bonanza's on.
I'm trying to watch. Leave It to Beaver. Well, Leave It to Beaver's on. You leave me alone. That's what I said.
The Andy Griffith Show theme song is on. You better be quiet. It's my favorite part.
The whistling's starting.
He's about to throw the rock, and you're talking.
Golly darn, if you interrupt Golden Girls one more time, I swear to the Lord.
I haven't seen this one yet.
This is the I Love Lucy when she works at the candy factory. You better be quiet.
You better keep that yap shut.
You play those damn video games again?
I'm trying to watch MASH. Shut your mouth.
Do 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 do.
Trying to watch the whole A team, Hannibal, Mask, and the other guys.
Well, at any rate.
Anyways, Dodgeball's movie.
Back to the Globo gym. We see White Goodman doing a little bit of, I don't even know what you call it, like some mental empowering things. Like he wants to eat this piece of pizza, but he's like, just take one little bite. Or is it a donut?
It's a donut.
It's a donut.
He's a donut. Yeah.
There's some like shock therapy to not eat a donut. Just one little bite. Come on, fatty. One little bite won't hurt you.
Attached to his tits.
Electrocutes himself, and then Michelle just like walks in. And he's like, "Ms. Veach is here to see you." And he's like, "Give me 30 seconds to send her in."
30 seconds.
And White. Oh, we got Beans in front of the cam over there. I don't know if he was on there.
I hope we get to see him.
Hope we got to see him. But we see then White does like he has these short he's wearing like a singlet, but he like pumps up his he pumps up like his bulge in his pants with like a bike pump. And then he grabs we learn to be a dictionary, and he runs upstairs. And then Kate Veach walks in and sits down, and he comes in. And he's like, "Oh, I like to break a mental sweat too."
Were you reading?
Are you
A dictionary.
The dictionary?
You got me. Let's break metal sweat too.
And then she points out like the painting, and she's like, "That's a interesting painting you have there." He's like, "Yeah, that's me taking a bull by the horns. That really happened."
Yeah.
That actually happened.
And he also goes on to say, "Don't think of me as your boss." She's like, "Oh, I don't." He's like, "Well, I hired the bank. The bank works for me. Ipso facto, I'm your boss." And he asks how the takeover of Average Joe's is going as he's flirting with her as he's going about this. And he's like, "How's it going with those freaks over at Loser Town?"
Those freaks over at Loser Town.
And Kate's like, "They're people, just like you and me."
People, just like you and me.
And White's like, "They're up to something over there. I can smell it."
So weird.
Yeah.
He's a sociopath, man.
He
This
is.
guy needs to be
He is. He's
checked out.
He's out there.
he is not of this earth.
Well, so it's safe to say his flirting doesn't go very well with Kate so far.
No.
Next, we see.
Go ahead.
When
I was young, when I was really young, I read I used to read the dictionary a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You just sit down and.
I really did. No, I really did. I'd flip through it. That's how I learned the word nuke, which is an atomic bomb.
Yeah.
And that's when you learned that, when you read it in a dictionary?
I was very young. Yes.
How old? How old are we talking there?
Like 5 or 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That's pretty young to learn the word nuke.
I never would have guessed that you made an attempt to extend your
cool.
vocabulary.
We had a big red dictionary, and I just flipped through it.
You were a smart guy, weren't you?
I used to be, but then I turned 7 and I stopped.
Then I stopped reading the dictionary.
I stopped reading it. Then I realized how stupid that was. Why the hell are you reading a dictionary?
That's what Eminem does to learn more rhymes.
Yeah, I
Nah, dude, but he would lose in a rap battle to 6ix9ine, dude.
6ix9ine, yeah. Pop.
The sticky turn around the clothing.
God, that guy's crazy. We can edit that out.
Yep. So we are keeping that.
We can edit that out.
We see the.
We're talking shit about 6ix9ine.
We see the. Dude, I actually like 6ix9ine. Leave that in there. But we see the old timey
Billy's a bop.
dodgeball training footage next. It's like
so the
it's
like
black
the old
and
timey.
white. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Patches all in.
And it's like the Timmy is like the kid learning about dodgeball in the video, and he's like
painting a fence.
yeah.
Was he? I remember.
Timmy.
You looked at me like I didn't know. You're like what?
I really didn't. I don't remember.
You were like what?
Yeah.
Idiot! How can he be painting a fence when he's playing dodgeball? Dodgeball's an inside game.
The floating voice guy's like, "Hey, Timmy."
Yeah.
It's like, gee,
Did they really talk like that back then in the 50s?
I hope they
It was
did.
like gee whiz and by golly.
By golly, gee whiz.
By golly.
One can imagine, you know.
Hey, I'm ready. Yeah.
So the dodgeball footage, I don't know, commentator guy teleports Timmy to a Chinese opium den where we learn that dodgeball was invented by opium-addicted Chinamen, where they throw severed heads at each other. That's how dodgeball was invented.
What an origin story. Yeah.
That is a crazy.
The commentator goes on to announce that the American Dodgeball Association of America, or the ADAA, is the official ruling body of the sport of dodgeball. Timmy then meets the dodgeball legend that is Patches O'Houlihan, who finishes up the training video with some more tips and tricks, such as sorry.
Well, the guy that plays young Patches,
Just talking a lot there,
is Hank Azaria.
Yep.
You know, and he voices a lot of Simpsons characters, like
almost all of them.
Really?
And Mo.
So many of them. Yeah.
Comic book guy, probably. Most of them.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That is
he also is in the movie Mystery Men, which is very good.
He's in Night at the Museum.
Ben Stiller's also in that.
He's in Night at the Museum too.
In Night at the Museum.
He's
Ben Stiller's also in that movie.
He's the Tudyk guy. Yes. That's Hank Azaria.
Him and Ben Stiller must be buddies.
He does.
Yeah, they must be buddies.
does.
Dude, I mean, Hank Azaria's got to be a pretty funny guy.
Yeah.
If he's in that many
he's a
episodes
talented
of The
guy.
Simpsons,
Ben
man.
Stiller was definitely on some episodes of Family Guy, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, well he
Or
had
not
the
Family Guy,
ears.
Simpsons.
Simpsons, he probably was.
Probably both.
Yeah.
Family Guy, he had the ears. They made fun of his ears being so big.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. His movies
I gotta go
are
now,
terrible.
His movies are terrible.
Yeah. But I like Hank Azaria.
Yeah, me too. I did not know that. I did not know that was him.
He's also in the Matthew Broderick Godzilla from 1999 or 8.
Oh, like not the original Godzilla, but like the first,
the first American.
Yeah,
version
the
of
first
it,
American Godzilla.
with Matthew Broderick,
Yeah.
and Hank Azaria is in it, and that's all that I know.
That's kind of a legendary movie.
That's funny.
I
had
don't
no idea
I don't
was
mind
him.
that movie.
That's not bad.
That's
Matthew
like
Broderick's not bad. No.
As Patches O'Houlihan, Hank tells us it's always a good idea to pick the big, strong kids for your team so you can gang up on all the weaker ones. Like
Solid
Winston
advice.
here.
Like Winston here.
And then they smash some nerd in the face with a dodgeball. And
Break his glasses.
breaks his glasses.
Yeah,
Classic
that's
stuff.
what you get for wearing glasses and being a nerd.
If you're a nerd wearing glasses, they're going to get broken.
If you're wearing glasses, you're probably a nerd. Yeah. And if you're a nerd, you probably have glasses.
It's like a pedophile and a mustache. Not every person with a mustache is a pedophile, but every pedophile has a mustache.
Has a mustache. Yeah, that is true.
It's like nerds and
not
glasses.
every nerd has glasses, but every wait,
Wait,
was that right?
Wait,
not every nerd has glasses, but everybody with glasses is a nerd.
I still don't think that's right.
No, that's right. Everybody. Wait, no,
Everybody
it should be
with
the
glasses.
opposite.
All nerds have glasses, but not everybody with glasses is a nerd.
There you go. Yeah, I think that's a fact.
All right, cool.
Yeah, but the pedophile thing too.
The pedophile thing too.
Yeah.
This is also where we hear about the 5 Ds of dodgeball: dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Of course, dodge.
Yeah, that's probably the most important too.
After the training footage, the Joes do a little bit of practicing, but we can see that they're very unathletic and not very good. And we also see this is where the cutout that White left for them after the car wash is also spying on them a bit.
And some hidden cameras in there. He must have some military grade stuff over there at Globo
Gym is worth $4 million.
They don't mess around to win this dodgeball tournament.
Yeah. There's also a little scene in the office, Peter's office again, where Kate Veach is like, "Aren't you ever gonna try anything in life?" And he's like, "Well, with no goals, you can never be disappointed." That's kind of where the growth with Peter's character comes in. Is trying harder, but he really doesn't even grow that much.
He's not motivated. He's just kind of a lazy guy, and he kind of gives up easily. And then by the end of the movie, he loves his friends, and he made sure that everybody ended up okay.
Kind of found his purpose.
He found his purpose, and that was.
He did.
Yeah.
I mean, when his gym was about to go under, he said, "Oh man, that sucks," and drank beer.
He just lacked motivation.
Well, if they lost the dodgeball tournament, then none of it would have mattered. So
that's what I'm saying.
True. That is true.
But even if they lost, he believed in them. Yeah. After he talked to Lance Armstrong.
Well, if Lance wouldn't have been there, who knows what would have happened.
If Lance hadn't won the Tour de France 5 times, or whatever
5 times
it was, with statistical cancer or whatever he had.
There's a big turning point in Peter LaFleur's character, and it happens when he meets a cheating bicyclist.
Yeah,
but this is 2004, so nobody really knew about that.
Nobody cared at the time.
Moving on.
I think we have. Yes. Here's the. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm wrong. Go ahead.
Oh,
I'll say something. Okay. No, I don't want to. I'm just going.
Okay. Now we have the first the regional qualifying match for the Joes to get into the dodgeball tournament. And we see Gordon's wife is watching, and she looks super pissed, and she's there with the kids, and she does the loser sign to him when the Joes look over at him. He's like, "L for love." Doy's like, "That's not what L for love. That's L for love. That's not what that means."
Yeah.
That's not what that means.
He's in denial.
She
clearly doesn't love him.
She was a mail order bride.
She was a
mail order brides probably won't love you ever. That seems to be the thing.
It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Interesting that him and Justin both having some issues on the lady front.
Oh, Justin,
or not Justin. Owen. They're both doing the.
Well, Justin Long is too. Justin Long did.
All these average Joes are having some lady issues at the same time. I guess they really are just average.
They're just average Joes. You know.
That's
why you root for them.
And then, you know what? The average Joe will always prevail.
That's not true.
That's
not true at all.
I want to agree.
Moving on. I want negative Nancy over there.
I want to agree. I want to agree with BJ, but
in real life,
I think
that's not the case.
I gotta believe
kids never try.
Why?
Never try.
Bother?
Why bother?
Why bother? It's not worth it.
That's my.
It's not worth it. Quit school.
play dodgeball.
It's not worth it.
Quit school and play dodgeball.
Play dodgeball. You can win $50,000.
Or you can
win $50,000. That'll pay for your rent for
a few years, depending on where you live.
Like a year.
Or if you're in a Girl Scout troop, maybe you can enter a regional qualifying match and face off against a bunch of losers at Average Joe's gym. Troop 417.
I was a Boy Scout.
Is the Average Joe's first opponent. I was a Boy Scout as well, but
Did you learn how to tie some knots?
We did the Pinewood Derby.
We did the Pinewood Derby. No one ever taught me. I didn't know how to tie my shoes until I was like 5.
You didn't know how to learn to tie knots?
Yeah.
Clearly, you didn't have the BTK.
Loop-de-loop and
The
pull.
what?
And your shoes are looking.
What the hell?
It's a conversation for a different time.
What the hell are you talking about over there?
Hey, could you be really aggressive? And I'd appreciate it. If
Well,
you
you acting like, I had the BTK, but I'm not gonna tell you what it is.
I'll tell you what it is. I like that reference, BJ.
It was it's tying knots. BTK. Go ahead, Corbin. Hey, you're being mean, and I don't like it.
There's a serial killer in the I think it was the 80s, and his he was known as BTK, which is bind, torture, kill, and he
I haven't read
tied
this
up and
book yet.
killed people.
He's a crazy person.
Yeah, so he knew how to tie knots.
Yeah,
So that's what I was asking you.
I didn't know what you meant, and then you wouldn't tell me.
You were just mean.
Sorry. Sometimes I get impatient.
You know what, Cole? Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I'm already wrecked. I wrecked myself a long time ago.
Faced.
I didn't check it beforehand.
Faced.
Check it out.
Check it.
You're not that guy. I'm not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal. You are not that guy, pal.
Well, Troop 417 whoops Average Joe's ass. They just wipe the floor with them. Gordon's wife is laughing at him as they're getting pelted with dodgeballs.
Which is mean. She's not a nice lady. No.
Then there's the awards ceremony for this regional qualifying match where another judge comes up and whispers in the ear of the main guy. Oh, we lost the camera.
That was all she wrote for.
We got
this.
cam 1 or 2 is down. We got the GoPro only now. Focus your attention forward, boys.
No problem.
That's the better angle anyway.
But we learned that one of the Girl Scouts on Troop 417, they got randomly drug tested, and they tested for 3 types of anabolic steroid in a low-grade beaver tranquilizer. I mean, it pans over into the Girl Scouts, and you see one has like super hairy arms, and it's just obviously
and a mustache,
like a dude.
Yeah,
and it's obviously a guy.
So they get disqualified, and the Joe.
God damn you, Bernice!
Which is the director making the crying.
Oh, you mean
noises.
Ross and Marshall Thurber?
The very same.
Nice.
So the Joes luck out, and they move on to the next round. And as you would, you got to celebrate at the most inappropriately named restaurant you can find, which is the Dirty Sanchez.
Gross.
So the Joes are celebrating.
What?
Moving on.
Which one? Which sexual position is that?
Oh, it's not a position.
No,
that's not. I mean, sexual whatever. Position wasn't the right word.
It's when the male finishes on the female's upper lip, hence giving her a mustache of sorts.
Yeah. I was just wondering which one that was. Which
That's
one I was
what it
referring to.
Doesn't it come after butt stuff too?
Probably.
I think that's an extra layer of that.
Probably.
Where there's like different.
That's what makes
different
it dirty.
meanings.
Pull that up, Jamie.
Pull up a Dirty Sanchez.
Pull that up, Jamie.
Hey, JMO, you want to pull that up?
Jamie, pull it.
Pull up a Dirty Sanchez.
I want to see Dirty Sanchez, and then after that, I want Balbazar.
David Goggins. He ran earlier today. And he said something.
You guys see that minivan hit that fucking elk?
Yeah. Pull a picture of like a full-grown elk.
A gorilla.
How big they are.
A gorilla would fuck you up.
Have you ever
kidding me?
Have you ever seen a hairless chimp? Look at the muscles on that thing. It would tear you to pieces.
Have you ever tried DMT?
Oh,
that's crazy.
Well,
that's crazy.
The Joe's celebratory dinner is interrupted by none other than the Globo Gym Purple Cobras, who we discover are also going to be participating in this dodgeball tournament in efforts to stop the Joes from winning so they can save the gym. Yeah. White calls them pathetic and introduces us all to his dodgeball team that will be winning the tournament. First, Blade. Laser. Cracks his knuckles. Blazer.
So stupid.
And you know my fitness consigliere, Michelle. And Fran. Stelnoskevich.
The longest name I've ever written.
Her nuclear power plant's team has won 5 years running.
You know, Fran, how do you pronounce her name?
Stelanoskevich Tefedovitsky.
Stelanoskevich.
Tefedovitsky.
It's not that hard.
It's not
that hard.
No, it really.
Are you a simpleton?
I guess I got nothing going on in my stupid little head. I guess.
Shout out one.
Stella Voskovich, Fran
Stelanoskovich Tefedovitsky.
Stella. One more time, say it slow.
Stelanoskovich
Defeta.
Vitsky.
Vitsky.
Yeah.
Stelanoskovich. Fran. So the actress's name.
Anyways,
is Missy Pyle, and she, as well as Justin Long, were both in the movie Galaxy Quest.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Which is another movie I like.
She looks vastly different.
That'd be a good one
than she does in the movie.
She always plays a weird.
She has like the Princess Leia.
Yeah. The cornrows. Yeah, and the big moles on her face.
You know who else is in Galaxy Quest? Alan Rickman.
Alan 5501222.
Don't disappoint me, Potter.
Don't disappoint.
Turn to page 394.
Don't forget that joke for the party.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Well, Fran is the most deadliest woman on earth with a dodgeball. Ball me, Blazer. Blazer hands Fran a dodgeball, and she pelts some innocent man next to the jukebox.
He's just trying to drink a beer.
And he's like actually dead.
He died.
And White informs us that Gordon's like, how can he enter the tournament without winning a regional qualifying match?
Oh yeah, now I remember.
I hope the commissioner sheds some unwanted poundage before beach season.
That's a fair trade.
Your best player
favor.
thinks he's a pirate. Like Steve all fired up.
Yeah, we'll fire up Steve. He has a knife.
And White goes on to...
Well, he is a pirate, so...
Yeah, every pirate has a knife. With some kind of impairment. It's true.
And White goes on to say, best bring your bib. Because it's going to get messy. And as he says messy, he just assaults some waitress. And she like spills the food all over the Joe sitting at their table.
She's just trying to do her job.
The purple cobras leave.
Yeah. Poor gal. I hope
they tipped her well. She's just trying to do her job, and being a waitress is not easy or fun, I assume.
It reminds me of those guys that like go through the drive-thru and ask for, can I get a large water? And then they get the water and like throw it back at the people working.
That's so mean.
Yeah.
So messed
Remember
up.
there was like a viral trend going on Twitter for a little bit a couple years ago where you like get a drive-thru and you order like a large Coke and then you say Coke bomb and you throw it back inside.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that about? The floors are sticky.
Why would you do that?
It's like,
and you paid for it.
it's like they think like when little trends like that start where people fuck with like retail workers, it's like, who's the quickest person we can find that we can fuck with?
Like who can we whose day can we make worse?
Yeah, they could be already having a bad
immediately.
day.
Yeah, if you're working at one of those places, you're already having
if you're
a bad
working
day.
with customers at all, or just people, just everyday people.
Working in the food industry
that
sometimes
job sucks.
it's a tough job.
Yeah,
It's a tough
I
job,
used to work
man.
in a call center. People are just not reasonable or fun to talk to at all.
Yeah, so if you're rude to the service industry workers or customer service reps, we don't want you listening to aiming for the bushes. So.
And if you don't tip accordingly.
Yeah. I would say don't unsubscribe, but just be better.
Yeah. Don't hit our Patreon.
Like the video, share the video, subscribe.
Leave us
fuck off.
Leave us a
leave us alone.
Leave us a comment.
Don't forget to leave us a comment.
It
helps the algorithm.
About why we're on.
Helps the algorithm.
But otherwise, you can go fuck yourself.
You can just leave.
You can tip your waitress.
Don't tip. You know what? If she gives you good service, tip her well.
You tip her well.
But if she doesn't give you good service, she don't need a tip. She don't need a good tip.
I'm with that.
She needs a tip though. You can't not tip her.
No,
I say her, but you can't not tip them.
Yeah, them. Yeah.
Okay. But if they don't give you good service, why am I going to tip you good?
Precisely.
I mean, that's... Yeah. You don't want to reward someone for bad behavior.
Exactly.
I'll try to remember that whenever I have a child.
I mean, I guess.
Don't give your kid a cookie if he pissed on the floor. Drew on the walls.
Remember that one time?
After the Joes get pelted in the layers of... There's like a large plate of food also.
It looked like, I mean, they were at a Mexican restaurant, and it looked like a lot of what she tossed up was like lettuce and like loose things. It looked like chips and like loose like nachos and stuff, which is disgusting to clean up.
It makes a big mess.
Yeah,
gets everywhere.
Stuff.
Peter's walking out to his jalopy, and we hear roll up in a wheelchair some gruff old man
in this jalopy,
who turns out to be none other than Patches O'Houlihan from the frickin' Dodgeball old-timey training video. We saw him watching on in the background during the Globo Gym being assholes. I think his main motivation to coach him was to beat Globo Gym because he saw how big of dickheads they were.
Yeah.
Luckily, this Dodgeball legend was drinking at the restaurant they decided to.
He was played by Rip Torn.
Yes.
And Rip.
Rip.
Rip
hooray, but not hooray. He died. R.I.P. Rip Torn.
So we see Patches begin to drill the average Joes the next day to get him whipped into shape to win this GD Dodgeball Tournament and save the gym. He throws Peter a blindfold because he wants him to train blindfolded, and that'll come in to play a little bit later. We're also introduced to the 5Ds of Dodgeball again, and Justin Long questions, shouldn't we be like throwing some dodgeballs at each other or something? And Patches says, that's what the sack of wrenches is for. Yeah. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
I understood that coaching strategy, though, because you're going to get really trained to not want to get hit by anything thrown at you.
Yeah.
Because you'll think of it as a wrench.
Yeah, everything's going to hurt. I mean, it's going to be awful.
I don't condone it, but I get it.
Yeah, I also understand that.
I get it.
He's kind of like throwing you to the sharks.
He's from a different time.
Yeah.
You know, in the movie, fun fact for you guys here. In the movie, when Patches was throwing wrenches, he was throwing rubber wrenches.
Oh yeah,
like they were made of rubber. But one of the wrenches actually hit Justin Long in the face and actually cut him.
Busted him wide open.
Busted his eye open. So like I can imagine. I mean, think about a wrench. Okay. A wrench is like what? A wrench is like what?
How long
like
is a standard wrench?
The standard wrench is
that 48 inches?
48 inches.
I'm thinking like a wrench.
6 feet?
What is that?
Is it at least a foot?
6 feet?
At least a foot.
Probably.
That's like getting. I mean, that's like getting hit with a dildo.
What kind of
like, if you take a dildo and like, if someone takes a dildo and throws it at you and hits you in the face with it,
yeah,
that would probably hurt. Pretty bad.
Well, the wrench,
if it's like a big guy,
the wrench, there's like edges on the wrench.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff,
the dildo is wavy. You can twist it around and like you might not get the full effect, but you get a full effect of a wrench.
I feel like with a dildo, you want to like slap people. If it's long enough, it's
still
like
have a hold.
It's like a whip. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, some people are into that kind of thing though.
Yeah, but depending on how long your dildo is, you might want to throw it. Patches.
I've never been hit by a dildo.
No, you don't want that. Patches' training methods are
maybe I do.
They're a bit old school. We see him.
He's
him
definitely
using like
from like like the hard earned fucking.
This movie takes place in 1991.
Oh, I didn't even know it didn't take place.
That's true.
Are you serious?
I'm not making this up. Yes, and that's why Patches. The video was from like the 50s.
Yeah, that makes sense because he was like an old.
But
man.
this really is from like the early 90s. I think it's I'm pretty sure it's 91.
I just assumed it was
like early 2000s.
I assumed it was like present day 2004. No, but we see him using like the pitching machine for like footballs for like passing drills to whip dodgeballs at people, and back to like the wrench thing. Like Justin Long got nailed with like a dozen dodgeballs in that one scene.
God.
So.
Takes a beating.
Like they would hurt.
They did take a
beating.
I wonder if they give him like bonuses or anything.
The actors actually said like the one thing that that was the hardest was trying not to flinch when the dodgeballs were thrown at them
because they know they're gonna get nailed.
And I mean, could you imagine like saying, "Hey, stand here. We're gonna throw this dodgeball at your face."
Like you just read that in the script.
Like that'd be insane.
The morning of.
Like your character like stands there and has a dodgeball thrown at their face.
And Gordon's character can't, or Stephen Root's character Gordon cannot catch a dodgeball to save his life, and Patches is like, "You're about as useful as a poopy flavored lollipop."
It's pretty useless. I wouldn't like that.
I mean, I don't even really like lollipops.
Like the big circle ones.
I'm an adult.
Those have no flavor.
I'm an adult. I don't eat those.
Yeah, it's just like
like a Tootsie Pop.
it's just like compacted sugar.
I do like Tootsie Rolls
like
though.
Tootsie Roll. Well, yeah, everyone.
Tootsie Rolls.
Let me see that
I
Tootsie Roll.
haven't had Tootsie Roll in a long time.
Neither have I, dude.
I went
Dude,
to a
honestly,
parade.
you guys remember like
That's what
the
you get
bigger
in
ones, the big,
parades.
thicker Tootsie Rolls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were good,
Those
dude.
I like those. I like the long
Delicacies.
ones. Like the short, stubby ones were pretty good too.
Yeah.
They tasted a little different depending on the size.
Unless they're
did.
really old, then they're like hard.
There's like those thick. They weren't long, but they were thick.
Yeah.
Those were
Yeah.
like those just tasted. The best.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
talking about. They're just like they like a little more richness to
Yeah.
those Tootsie Rolls.
I need to get some Tootsies.
So after Gordon's poor performances, Patches has to give Gordon a bit of a pep talk to unleash his anger to become a better dodgeball
He really
player.
just needs to kind of take his feelings out on the court.
Because he's just
Get
like
some
kind of a
pent-up frustration.
reserved, nervous guy. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what you want me to do.
Channel his inner frustration out on the dodgeball court.
Miss Kate Veach sees that Joe's practicing, and she grabs the dodgeball herself and just fucking whips one and takes the head off of the White Goodman cutout. And she's like, 12 years of softball. So she's a badass dodgeball player because she played a bunch of
badass.
softball. But
Softball, super duper tough game to be good at.
Oh yeah.
Honestly.
I wouldn't be. I'm not good at.
Oh
any
my
sports.
gosh, that game is hard.
Yeah.
Dude, mad respect to softballers.
shout out to the softball lady.
Dude, it's really hard.
The
bases are everything's so close, and they can hit the ball really hard, and everybody's fast.
Their
Dude,
bats
it's
are,
a
like,
hard game,
skinnier.
man.
I was once asked at the company I used to work for to play softball with like them and their squad, and that's just not something I do.
Yeah, I feel you.
You could have went out there and showed all your coworkers how badass you are.
But I wouldn't be badass. That's why I didn't go.
Yeah, you would.
I played softball. I haven't done any sports in years, and all the sports that I did were not ball related.
All you gotta do is stretch.
Except for wrestling.
He's got no balls, Cotton.
That
That was a ball. That was a ball related sport.
That was clever.
You gotta check the oil every once in a while.
Come on now.
I always forget to.
But Michelle is still spying on the Joes through the cutout.
His fitness consigliere.
He prints off these photos of Miss Veach playing dodgeball because he knows that White has a thing for Miss Veach. So he takes these printed off photos to White's office, but we see White is having some like masturbatory session with some Patton Oswalt commentated pizza making
Time
thing.
to push it to the edge.
He's like pushing his like piece of pizza down his pants.
He's stuffing a piece of pizza down his pants.
Because he's a formerly overweight man, so he has a toxic relationship with food. Clearly,
very much so.
yeah.
I used to be a fat guy.
And Michelle,
600 pounds.
Yeah.
that was me 6 years and 600 pounds ago. Before I knew how much I
That's
hated
pretty
myself.
big.
Before I knew how much I hated myself.
That is really big.
You're not a picky eater when you're 600 pounds.
But Michelle
No, I don't think
busts in with the photos, and he catches White in the middle of his shoving pizza down his pants, and he's like, "Whoa!"
He's dangling off his pants.
Didn't I warn you about knocking?
And we didn't warn you about knocking. And White's super embarrassed. He's like, "What did I say about interrupting me during my private reflection period?"
What are you reflecting on, bro? Scalding your
those-
genitals?
all
Is
those-
that
all
what
those-
you're-
all those
with
times he
pizza
ate-
sauce?
all those
While
times he ate
Patton
pizza.
Oswalt whispers in your ear through a laptop. Like, come on, man.
White saw that Kate was potentially interested in fucking around playing dodgeball, and he's like, no resisting White Goodman when he puts on his shiny shoes. And then we hear Tonto jump on it, jump on
He's
it.
dressed like Fred from Scooby-Doo.
Literally like Fred from Ascot and
Ascot,
all white leather suit, strolling up to Kate's house that night to finish the job, to woo her over, because he was not. Didn't he say something like, "I have to woo Kate a little sooner than nature intended"?
nature intended.
Yeah.
He picks a flower from like right in front of her house to impress her.
That's hilarious.
And he's like hits on her some more, continues to get rejected, but he also says that you're fired.
You're fired.
I called the bank and said you've been stealing and drinking on the job.
And they bought it.
And they bought it.
They bought it. They bought it.
So he's like, you're fired.
You're fired. With a
And-
smile on his face.
And of course she hates it. And she's
what? God.
She's like upset with him, and he like kind of puts his like arm next to her, like leaning against the house or whatever, and he's like, "We can get real freaking naughty. Are you a naughty freak?" Naughty freak. Naughty. And Peter LaFleur, our hero, arrives to save Kate from more awkwardness from White hitting on her, and Kate ends up punching her in the face, punching White in the face for his overextending with his flirtatious behavior. And White is like, "No one makes me bleed my own blood. Yeah. Nobody." And he snaps, and Michelle instantly pulls up on a moped in White.
Beautiful.
All I ever want in my life is to be able to snap and have someone pull up and take me away on a motorcycle.
That's how you know you made it.
Like, that's how I know as
you flip them off
as much money as I need. Right there, man.
I got no worries.
If I'm paying for that, then yeah, I'm good.
I'm gonna drive anywhere anymore. Just hop in the back of a scooter with Michelle.
And I want it to be him too.
Yeah, that probably cost extra. Who knows what that guy's doing anymore?
True.
Yeah,
he busy.
Well, after Kate learns that she's been fired, and she was kind of apprehensive about playing dodgeball with the Joes before, but now she's all in. She's gonna play dodgeball. And
hey guys, it's time to put your mouth where our balls are.
Yes, that's how he really wins her over.
That's how you reel her in. That's a good line.
And we get we next cut to like an incredible graphic of ESPN 8 The Ocho. Where we're introduced to
almost a sport. We got it.
It's almost a sport. We got it. Where we're introduced to the Dodgeball Tournament, which is quoted as being greater than the World Cup, the World Series, and World War II combined.
That's pretty great, dude.
And there's some like early 2000s like robots throwing dodgeballs.
They had
like Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
They showed some footage of World War II. I mean, I think we'd have a better perspective.
That would have been really funny if they had like D-Day footage on there with the sports footage and like lawnmower racing and stuff.
Normandy footage.
Because it shows them like lawnmower racing and other weird sports.
Yeah.
And the commentators behind this are Pepper Brooks and Cotton McKnight.
Legendary commentators.
Legendary duo there.
What's the actor's name that plays Pepper Brooks?
That's Jason
Bateman.
Yeah.
This is
Cotton McKnight is played by Gary Cole.
Yes.
Not Gary Coleman.
Not Gary Coleman. That's a British actor. He was serious.
Gary Coleman Grills.
Gary Cole plays Will Ferrell's dad in Talladega Nights.
Yes.
And
Reggae.
Pepper's
he's in other stuff too.
Pepper's like the super excited, over the top commentator, and Cotton is like the straight man.
Yeah.
Commentator.
Did
I get the names?
Play-by-play.
Did I get more play-by-play? I think I got the names there correct. But we learned that it's 5 games to win the tournament in total. And next we get some locker room shots where we see some of the various teams competing, and they pan by like the Japanese team, and they're just like smacking each other in the stomach, like,
I get amped up.
Oh yeah, there were some teams that they showed
amped.
that we never saw. For instance, the she mullets.
yeah, like
we never saw the
They
she
must
mullets.
get eliminated right away.
the roller
Yeah,
derby.
yeah, come on. I want to see some she mullet action.
Yeah, we saw the
Don't we all?
lumberjacks.
We did see the lumberjacks. Were they? Yeah. We did see the lumberjacks. Yeah.
And
They made it to the next round. Yeah.
this is where we hear
Tough
Owen
squad.
took it upon himself to make the Joes some new uniforms for the big tournament. But there's been some sort of mix-up, and their gear has been swapped up with like the BDSM
Basically
team,
like bondage team.
and they have like assless chaps
Okay.
and like fucking chainmail shirts and ball gags and
Owen's got
a lot of black leather.
Owen's got the thing in his
horse
mouth.
bridle.
Yeah,
And he's got it in his mouth the entire time.
And ADA rules require the teams to have matching uniforms. So
Yeah.
the Joes
I
are
guess he has to
You
wear
mean
it.
the American Dodgeball Association of America?
the very same.
Yeah.
They don't require assless chaps. Okay. And in the first game of the tournament, the Joes are playing the German team, who like go hands in on a photo of David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
Hasselhoff, and that's how they get fired up to play. Of course, the game fires up. Gordon's the first one to get eliminated. Kate Veach shows that she's like the number one player on the team by catching a ball, and getting Peter LaFleur back in, and we hear the commentators go, "He doesn't have any balls, Cotton.
He doesn't have any balls, Cotton. He's balls, Cotton."
And the average Joes pull up like an upset win over the Germans.
First game.
I feel shocked.
Just
Good
like
start.
World
Good
War
start for
II.
the Joes.
Good start to the Joes. It's like World War II all over again.
Americans come in and just blast
Yeah,
the
what an
whole,
upset.
whole lid off the place.
And the Germans are pissed from losing, and the BDSM team shows up wearing the average Joe's gear, and he's like, "You must be daddy."
You must be daddy.
Also, David Hasselhoff makes a cameo.
As the coach.
As the coach,
of the
yes.
Germans.
How could I forget?
It's just the start of a bunch of weird cameos in this movie.
There's quite a few strange cameos,
There really is.
I must say,
But,
in this movie.
There really is.
Funny cameos,
Yeah.
but kind of weird.
As the Joes are in there,
They're random. They are. Really?
That's what makes a cameo.
They're not
good.
associated with each other at all.
No, they're very random.
There's more than
They
makes a
did
cameo
the cameos well in this movie.
It's funny.
But we see like the Globo Gym and the average Joes are they like kind of like see each other from across the court, and White like runs into a fan and he smacks his drink out of his hand. He's like, "What the hell?" He's just like,
what the hell?
He's like,
he just keeps walking.
he's like the biggest dickhead ever. Peter meets Patches behind the scenes, and Patches hands off his towel, like his big towel from his career, his lucky scarf to Peter, and he's like, "I got some hookers in my room."
Yarr. What do you say, my treat?
my treat. Peter decides to pass up on that.
Good call. Good call. Good call. You don't want
the average Joes they run into the cheerleaders, the Chad guy and Justin Long's character's love interest upstairs.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Come on, Amber, I want to ride the roller coaster."
I don't blame the guy for that. I don't want to talk to this dude.
Yeah, well, I don't want to talk to some nerd that obviously has a crush on my girlfriend. I think I'll just move on.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
This guy.
He didn't do anything wrong. He was kind of a dick.
He didn't even make the cheerleading squad. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Ride the roller coaster.
True. And he's like the captain on the cheerleading squad.
Yeah. Like,
so Justin's like a loser to him.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Get bent helmet.
Get bent helmet.
And
it's a weird insult.
That is a really. Why is calling someone a helmet an insult?
Why is get bent?
Fans, go ahead and comment. Fans, go ahead and put in the comment section. Why is
bent? I remember in that '70s show, Donna would say "get bent."
Yeah, I think it was like
sometimes.
Get bent. It sounds like an old timey thing.
Yeah,
because it means fuck off, I guess.
Yeah.
Get basically. Bent. What is it? What is it actually?
Go have something bad happen to you. That's kind of what I get out of it. Go fuck yourself.
Get bent. Backwards.
Get dented get bent like a helmet, I guess. But Dwight is like, he's gonna fall off that roller coaster and break every bone in his body.
Yeah. My cousin Ray.
Dead.
Boop. Dead.
Yeah.
The Joes in their next game are against the previously mentioned Lumberjacks. And the commentators like, they haven't even seen a woman in 8 months. They must masturbate a lot, Cotton.
They must masturbate a lot, Cotton.
And this is where like a ball like just shoots into the crowd and blasts a fan in the face. And the commentators are like, "It was a souvenir for Lucky Fan." The commentators have a lot of really funny.
I mean,
a lot of funny stuff.
I think that really kind of transcended the show a little bit. I mean, with those commentators, it was kind of like the same feel as like Pitch Perfect. That movie movie. The commentators in that movie were incredible.
Elizabeth Banks
I
and
feel like
Stephen Higgins.
I feel like the inspiration for those commentators probably came from these guys.
At least a little. It changed the whole movie. I mean, because
made it a lot funnier.
It just kind of gave it a different aspect and gave it a different angle to the whole scene that's going on what you're watching previous.
They're pretty similar. Like those two duos.
The same
they just
personalities.
Goofy.
They just say
one-liner things,
one-liner type
obvious
stuff,
things,
and they're funny, and they work together well. Yeah.
And
freshed up the downtown.
Fresh
Can I help?
Downtown. Can I help?
Maybe that'll be a movie we cover in the future. Pitch Perfect.
Oh, yeah,
it's a great movie.
It's a fun movie.
I've seen it in years.
We then go on to see the first game of the Globo Gym Purple Cobras. Who face off against the Kamikazes. Oh, I should say the Joes obliterated the Lumberjacks. They didn't stand a chance, especially with Patches O'Houlihan behind behind the helm.
Rolled them.
They can do anything.
Make quick work.
But
Quick work
as the
alums.
commentators once again have another great quote where they say the Purple Cobras are looking to drop an A-bomb on the kamikazes.
Of course, another World War II reference.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
They're covering history in this movie.
a lot of questionable
Ross and Marshall
Asian
Thurber
insults.
is a big WW2 guy.
Big
What?
World War II guys.
Must have watched a lot of History Channel docs.
Yeah, great war though.
It is a good war. It was a good war.
Another, I hate to keep saying lines that the commentators say. White Goodman's hair, feathered and lethal.
Feathered and lethal.
And then immediately we hop back over to the average Joes battling off against like those early 2000s rappers in the velour suits.
Skills that kills.
The skills that kills.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. They also get mopped up. The purple cobras. Goodness. Then go on to face the Los Angeles Police Department, who they
Las Vegas.
make mincemeat of.
Yeah.
Mincemeat.
Yep.
There's actually there was kind of a flaw in the movie there. Fun fact for you. The logo for that team was the LAPD, but then the commentators called them the Las Vegas Police Department. So like, yeah, so
I bet it was probably filmed. It was probably filmed in
goof.
L.A. somewhere, and
Yep.
that was what the uniforms they had.
Yeah.
I mean, they were
Wardrobe.
Yeah. Well.
So little fun fact there.
Way to
Little
go,
goof.
Rasan Marshall
I
Thurber.
was gonna say a little goof.
Little goof.
Fucking idiot.
But then we see
That's why I never saw Skyscraper.
Skyscraper. I don't remember who I saw that with, but it's not a bad movie. The Joes then go on to face some like.
Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, cut me off.
Is that the movie where The Rock only has one leg?
Sure is.
Okay.
It's interesting because The Rock is such a large physical figure.
But
Give him one leg, kind of evens the playing field a little bit.
Kind of.
that's true. But he can use his leg. It's like some sort of a weapon.
You know, Vin
Yeah.
Diesel broke the ground in one of the Fast and
he
Furious
did.
movies.
He's a
that was fast.
he's a superhero.
Did you know that he's
Six?
a god?
Pretty much.
Basically,
he's
yeah,
a speed
a
guy.
god that
He's
has
powered
family.
by family.
His family.
Ooh, that
Yes.
should be the name of like one of the Fast and Furious movies where it just gets like so ridiculous. It's like Fast 18 Speed Gods.
Speed.
And they all just
Yeah, and they're all
they're like
angels.
in Transformers and they're like angels
Yeah.
and they just like shoot spirit bombs
They
at
might
each
as
other.
well.
Go fast.
I love those movies.
If you want to go
They
fast.
get a
They're
bad.
so-
They get a
they're so
bad
dumb.
rep.
They're so dumb.
I love those movies.
If you want to go fast, gotta have
You gotta have
family.
family. If you want your car to go, you gotta have family.
Gotta go fast. Gotta have family.
You want gas, don't you? Yeah. This has nothing to do with family. Don't say family. You gotta have family.
We gotta get away from this guy. Come on, Vin, help us out.
I bet I haven't seen Fast 9 yet, but I bet like John Cena and Vin are like brothers in the movie. I bet by the end of that movie, John Cena's a good guy. And he's at the fucking family
Yeah,
barbecue.
he's at the barbecue. I bet he's got like a sack of
He's
buns.
like, got buns.
I got buns. And they're like,
They're
come on over
It's
here.
like, get over
It's
here,
funny
you
how-
16-time world champion.
It's all about family. Oh, by the way, I have a brother.
Oh, yeah, oh, by the way, I've had the brother this
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah, he never mentioned those movies have been out for
Weird.
20 years. and he
Weird,
mentioned
never
it.
mentioned that he had a
Those
brother.
movies have been out for 20 years. That is,
2001 was the first.
gosh, they've made so much money with those. It is absurd.
And there's also Hobbs and Shaw. Don't
There's
forget about
there's
that.
spin-offs. Kurt Russell.
Hobbs and
was in
Shaw
them.
wasn't even good.
No, it was pretty bad. So anyway, this football team type dudes are against the Joes, and they have the upper hand to put things in perspective. They're kind of beating the Joes' ass.
Cougars.
The Cougars, yeah. It gets down to only Gordon being the last man in, and he has repeatedly shown us that he is not the best competitor on the average Joe squad. And we call a timeout here. And Patches has a bit of a little halftime speech for Gordon, and he unlocks the anger within Gordon. I guess what truly unlocks the anger within Gordon is seeing some random dude in the crowd macking on his wife. And he's like,
I mean, that's got to make a guy
I
mad,
thought
you
that
know?
was David Hasselhoff. I think it would have been funny if
it
it
would
was David Hasselhoff.
have been really funny if it was David Hasselhoff.
It kind of looked like that one doctor from Scrubs.
Dr. Cox?
Yeah.
Dr. Cox.
Is it
Kinda.
that one?
Maybe it was. Like the guy who was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr.
Yeah.
Cox. Yeah.
Yeah, so he goes Hulk mode, wins that game for the Joes. And they're
Puts
like,
goggles on.
for the Joes to make it this far and continue to win, it must be the luck of the Irish. And it cuts to some dudes hanging up a sign in a casino that says "Luck of the Irish."
Remember that.
And the Joes are all like feeling good. They're like, "Oh my god, we're going on to the finals. We got Patches O'Houlihan behind the wheel. We're never gonna lose this one." And then the Luck of the Irish sign just fucking crashes down and smashes Patches. You see his leg like sticking out of the bottom.
Destroys him.
He dies.
So
Patches dies.
the gang is obviously coachless. They're dejected. They're sitting at some bar in a Las Vegas casino. They're all bummed out. They're like, "Oh my god, what are we gonna do, Peter? This fucking sucks." And Peter goes up and goes to the bathroom or whatever. And he ends up going back to his room, and White Goodman is waiting for him there with a buyout idea. And he presents $100,000 for them to like give up and not continue the tournament. And there's like an intense convo between White to Peter, like, let's just think about it. Even if you do win, eventually it's not going to stay open or whatever. And he shows the money in the suitcase, which you think would be like a full suitcase full of money for being $100,000.
Nope.
But they do the gag to where it's just like a one single stack of money, and that was pretty funny. And it kind of cuts off there with Peter slack-jawed, as Cole mentioned, just not really sure what he wants to do.
His mouth is open. His mouth is always open.
His mouth is always open.
Mouth breather.
Back to the Joes sitting at the bar drinking. Dwight is like, they got blazes and tasers and all kinds of azes. We'll stand a chance. And Steve the pirate gets up to go drain the sea monster.
Steve's gotta drive to the sea monster.
Peter returns to the table.
She brought Miss Veach brought Justin his virgin daiquiri.
Let's not forget that.
That was pretty funny. Pretty funny little tidbit there. And Peter returns to the table and's like, guys, we're gonna fucking lose, so let's just
this is what I mean. He just easily gives up. He's non-motivated.
Kinda, yeah.
And he's like, why try? He's got a why try attitude.
What's the point?
Yeah.
That's why
probably gonna lose. We're gonna play Global Gym tomorrow. I'm probably gonna lose.
We're gonna lose. And this is when he like shoves Steve the pirate into the wall by the exit. And he's like, "You are not a pirate."
What you just crush somebody's universe?
Yeah, which you don't say to somebody who thinks they're a pirate.
Clearly, there's something.
It's like waking somebody up.
Into that.
It's like waking somebody up when they're sleepwalking. You can't do that.
You're gonna break their brain.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt somebody doing that, Peter.
If they want to be a pirate, then let them be a pirate. I wish I was a pirate. I wish I was born in pirate times. But not do the bad stuff. Just be like a fun.
You don't want to get
treasure. I'd be like in the crow's nest. I'd be.
You want to just chill up.
You'd be like the spotter.
I don't participate.
Yeah.
I don't participate in like crew stuff, but I have my own little area, my own little office up there.
That would be kind of nice. Yeah. If I had to choose a role, I'd like to do that.
As a pirate, that probably would be a role that I would enjoy.
Yeah. And maybe every once in a while I'll have like a funny thing to say.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, that's just Cole up there.
Make sure you look out for icebergs.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't get that joke.
No, that's like 100. That's probably like 200 years before Titanic. But I'll be like,
but they might get.
Well, you'll get it. They'll get it in a few.
You'll get it eventually. Your elders will get it.
Yeah, you're not ready for that yet, but your kids are gonna love it.
Yeah.
A pirate would probably shit their pants if they saw the size of the Titanic. They'd be like, "Yarg, this ship would never go down." There must be so much booty in there.
All they had was
much treasure in that.
The Black Pearl and the Flying Dutchman.
The Dutchman's treasure.
Davy Jones' locker.
To go to blue. I just watched that episode of SpongeBob.
That's a good episode. That's probably a top 10 one for me.
Yeah, that's
the treasure episode, the board game.
Yeah, and it's just a board game taped to a piece of paper.
Yep. And the remaining average Joes, I think it's like Dwight and Owen. They leave the table at the bar, and Owen spots Fran sitting. Fran's back is to him, and Owen's like, Dwight, I gotta go have a drink. Go to the bathroom. Have a drink in the bathroom.
Whatever you do, wash your hands.
Whatever you do, wash your hands.
Whatever you do, wash your hands.
And then Owen goes over to Fran, and he's like, hi. And she's like, You're the one that stares. Why do you do this?
Why you do this?
He's like, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
She's like, oh.
And that
Soaked.
cuts off of them.
Was she wearing the Globo Gym attire at that time?
She's wearing like a red jumpsuit, I think.
It's like a pantsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she's dressed to go to like a congressional meeting.
Yeah.
Like
she has a
Hillary
speech.
style.
She has like a
Yeah.
speech or something. Yeah.
She probably has a meeting with an ambassador or something.
Right.
Probably.
She's going to meet with some lobbyists to talk about different issues and bills that they could pass.
If that's the
through
case,
Senate.
then that's a good outfit to wear. For
Hopefully she's awake during Benghazi. Finally, we see ESPN 8, the Ocho's final intro where they bill this big match between Globo Gym
Just a
and
bill.
what?
Yes,
Sitting on Capitol
yes,
Hill?
I'm only a bill.
Between the Joes
How
and the
I
Purple
hope
Cobra.
and pray.
And I'm on just the bill.
But today I am still just a bill.
The Joes versus the Cobras. The Joes versus the Purple Cobras is a real
The dawn.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Don't be sorry.
Sorry, everybody.
The average Joes versus the Purple Cobras is billed as a David and Goliath story.
It really
A little
is.
voice crack for you there. And
You're good, kid. I don't know why I laughed so hard at that.
that's
but I
okay.
did.
I keep losing my spot.
What
'cause
are
I
you,
wrote
a
so fucking
child?
Much. It's like a wall of text. The average Joes are on the way to the game. Justin's character gets recruited to go to the dodgeball finals.
The cheerleading
Cheerleading
finals.
The cheerleading
Because
finals.
cheerleading
got
and
you.
dodgeball are really similar sports.
Yeah. And he's like, well, I can't go because I got to go
Like X-ray.
dodgeball.
X-ray.
Go play dodgeball.
Like X-Ray and Caveman. They're similar. But there's a time crunch, but Justin's character goes to go do that, which I guess that was a scene that was necessary for him to win over the lady.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And
You know, he's got to get the girl. It's a Hollywood picture.
And that
It
made you
is
feel
a
good too.
It made me feel
does
like
make you feel
I
good.
could get into the cheerleading squad and
Well,
get
you
the girl.
you could, man.
Maybe I'm not very flexible though.
Well, if you believe it,
You don't have to
can
be
achieve
flexible
it.
if you're a
I
base.
mean, if I
Be
believed it,
strong,
I
though.
could be flexible.
If you believe it, you can achieve it.
I think that's just a physical thing and not a mental
Cool.
thing.
If you just stretched, you get more
I
flexible.
do. There's no need for me to stretch.
See, but
you
if
know what I did in the
okay,
sit and
okay.
reach?
If you wanted to get more flexible, all you would need to do is stretch on a consistent
A
basis.
little bit every day.
Yeah, but
That's all I'm saying.
What am I?
I'll send you my
I'm
daily
25
stretching
now. I
routine.
have no need to stretch. My life.
Sure, you do.
I got one foot in the grave already.
You're 25.
Yeah.
Our lives are halfway over.
Yeah. If this was like the 18th century, we'd be dead in 5 years of diarrhea.
I want to grow old with you into my 30s.
Just a cough and then that's it for you.
Yeah,
Get,
well.
get a splinter.
Infection,
But
man.
it is 2021. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, I was like, all right, okay.
So Peter is.
Anyways.
I don't want to stretch.
You don't have to.
Fuck stretching.
No one's gonna make you stretch, Cole. Don't worry about it.
Don't make me stretch. I didn't do good in the sit and reach.
I don't bend, I break.
I did pretty good.
I'm
Yeah.
a pretty flexible lad.
I did the worst. At
I can
any,
almost
any
do the
class
splits.
I was in. You what?
I can almost do the splits.
You're bad at every class you're in. Is that what you just said?
No.
Yes, I can.
You can do the split. I know. I
almost-
was saying no to him, but I know you can do the
I
split.
can almost do the splits. Yeah, almost. I'm not
Almost
gonna
do
say
the
I can
split.
do the splits. I can almost.
I
do
would
the
never
splits.
come close.
I would
Pretty
tear.
close.
I could barely do a cartwheel.
The ripping and the tearing.
Those
It
are
actually, you know
similar.
what?
The
It
ripping and the
depends.
tearing.
Sometimes, like when I like stretch a lot, I'm really flexible and I can almost do the splits. Sometimes it's like I shouldn't try because I'm gonna hurt myself.
I used to stretch every day, like in high school for like
Yeah.
sports, but I was never flexible.
Right.
Yeah, I used to have like a really good morning routine where I'd like get up with a lot of time to spare before work, and I'd like get up
course.
and stretch and make a little breakfast and have time to like go to work. But now I just wake up right before I got to go to work and it's just a
Get
big
there
fucking
last
rush.
minute.
No,
And I'm not like,
that's what
Hurry
I
up!
woken up and
Get
everything.
over!
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah. At any rate,
I'd rather sleep in.
we see Peter LaFleur is he's clearly like given up on the dodgeball tournament. He's sitting at like the airport watching some coverage on TV as he's like having drinks and shit. There's like a chance encounter where fucking Lance Armstrong shows up and gives some like sage advice to Peter that he needs to like try in life. And he says something funny. Lance says something funny. He's like, well, I guess if you never try in life, you never have any regrets.
Have any regrets for the rest of your life that will haunt you or something like that. It's like
for the rest of your life.
And then once again, Peter's like slack-jawed, like,
I'm getting slightly confused. And this guy's drinking his hand. He also did just run into Lance Armstrong at the airport.
Which is pretty outstanding.
I'd be like, screw the dodgeball tournament.
Today he would have been like, you're a fucking liar.
You're a cheater.
I'm not going to listen to you.
Yeah, he did some crazy shit to cheat. It was wild. Yeah. And meanwhile, we're seeing that the Joes can't compete in the finals because they don't have enough players. And the commissioner that delivers this news is none other than William Shatner.
William Shatner out of nowhere.
Yes.
Our second iteration of our goofy cameos.
Yeah.
And
I put Patton Oswalt in there too.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt.
Patton, he wasn't there. He was the pizza.
We got Oswalt. We got
masturbation
Shatner.
scene.
Yeah.
Justin Long returns right after they learn that they don't have enough people to continue. And they move on to like the award presentation ceremony to the Purple Cobras for winning by default. And Pepper Brooks is like, it's a bull strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. for forfeit.
Legendary quote. Like to point out also, really Pepper Brooks has a very impressive tattoo of a dodgeball with fire behind it on his neck.
It's a
really
right
just
there.
A slave to the game.
Maybe that's what I'll get next.
He's wearing like a dirt bike racing jersey or some shit too. And the Justin Long's cheerleader girlfriend can somehow see that Peter LaFleur is coming back. She's like, there he is. He's back. They have enough people.
She's the one that gets the attention.
And Gordon's like, of course, he's like the rule book nerd, so he knows of some obscure rule that by like committee vote, then they can continue the game when they have enough players. And so if we flip over to the judges, we get one yes from the panel of judges or committee or however it's described.
Mr. Chelsea.
Mr. Chelsea. We get a hard no from a stern lady.
Mrs. Lewis.
Mrs. Lewis. So we're 1-1. And the final judge, the deciding vote, the Texas Ranger himself, Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris
gives a big thumbs up because,
Chuck Norris was there.
He wants to see competition at whatever cost.
Another cameo. Also, a cameo that we missed earlier, Norm Mcdonald was actually in some of the workout videos that they showed in the gym. Really? In some of the videos and in like the actual gym itself. He was like flirting with a girl that was on like the stair climber or something like that.
I love
like
Norm.
Another cameo. So
Norm is so funny.
That's 4 cameos in this movie. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Blink and you'll miss him. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Peter's like, thank you, Chuck Norris.
That's Batman.
Yeah.
Dude. No, Adam West is Batman. Yeah. I'm a
yeah,
fool.
Norm Macdonald's not Batman.
Chuck Norris would be
Norm Macdonald was
Burt
Reynolds.
He was Turd Ferguson.
Turd Ferguson.
Yeah.
Thank you,
He's
Peter.
in Billy Madison and Men at Work. Yeah. He's a funny guy.
He's a very,
sometimes
very
I just
guy.
get on YouTube and just search Norm Macdonald and find a bunch of funny shit. That
there's a lot of really funny clips of him.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost went on another tangent about Norm, but this is where we get the Cramhole LaFleur.
And he goes, whatever.
Peter is now a changed man essentially, and he discovers that he needs to try in life and to not sit so idly by. And he gives his team some coaching advice, and they're like, "It's only dodgeball, right?"
I guess it is, but
I guess.
I mean, his job is on the line.
Yeah, but
Your livelihood. Again, back to Peter really not giving a shit about anything.
Well, he did get paid $100,000.
Yeah. Well,
I wouldn't.
He
I wouldn't go to work
lose.
if I won $100,000.
man, but he still wants to.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, we learn later on that he places the bet on them to win, and it was only $50,000 for the gym, so he gets paid already. But then he puts it all on them to win. So it's kind of
which was a risk.
Risk.
Yeah. But he believed in his team. He believed
because they had
because
they had a reason. And the Purple Cobras just wanted to win.
Yeah.
Corporately,
something worth fighting for.
Right.
White Goodman didn't have anything worth fighting for.
They were
except spite.
Shareholders.
They were fighting for a parking garage, and the Joes were fighting for their home.
Yeah.
True.
So the teams line up.
It's a true underdog story.
Joe's be the only place for Steve.
It's true.
Joe's be the only place for Steve. Joe's be the only place for Steve.
We see the teams line up to like some early 2000s pump up metal, and
I miss those days.
Well, who doesn't?
The final battle begins now. We get a quick 2-on-1 elimination on the star player, Kate Veach.
It's tough. Immediately.
Peter LaFleur's ball gets caught.
It's a bad start.
Bad start
Not
for
a
the
good
Joes.
start for the Joes.
Michelle gets domed in the head, and there's like the samurai sword slice as someone else gets eliminated. Owen and friend Selenoskevich Davidovitsky have like a swooning moment over each other. They both get eliminated. White Goodman catches a ball from Gordon as he's all fired up, and he does, "You're out, Four Eyes."
You're out, Four Eyes.
Justin makes a very beautiful
I'm getting
sliding
glasses
catch.
soon.
You are?
Yeah.
Cool.
Only for driving and reading and stuff.
Nice.
Are you 55 years old?
I feel like I am.
Yeah.
Your eyes
Sometimes
hurt.
my back hurts.
Yeah.
And my legs hurt too.
My knees hurt almost every day.
My knees have been hurting a lot lately.
Yeah.
I feel great.
That's because you're healthy and you're happy and you have a house.
Have a house and whatnot. How dare ye?
But yeah, just getting some glasses.
I remember when the day that you had your appointment in like elementary school where you didn't need glasses anymore was the same day I had an appointment where I learned that I didn't need glasses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, do you remember that? I remember we were
see
like,
each other?
yeah, we were standing on like the front step at like school waiting to get picked up, and we both had like eye doctor appointments, and that was when you didn't need glasses anymore, and that was when I first got them.
Oh.
And now you need them again.
Yeah, I do. We must have been like 9 years old.
Something like that.
I remember I went to school late that day because I went to the eye doctor, and they said, you don't need these glasses anymore. And I went to school all excited, like, all my friends are going to see me without glasses. I got there, and no one said anything.
Really?
Not even you.
Not even me?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Alright, dude, what's up?
I went to recess, and no one said anything.
Was it the day that I gave you a scar on your right above your nose right before picture day?
Did you?
You remember
Is that what happened?
Yeah, the one picture that you have from picture day where you have a scar right here.
Yes, I do remember.
It's because I like took my thumb and it was an accident. It was an accident.
You know what? I do remember.
I remember it being an accident because I was gonna do something. I was gonna be like Simba or something like that on your head. I was gonna be like
sounds about right.
Simba.
That sounds about right.
Jabbed him
And
with
I
the
just
thumb.
like stabbed you right in the
Picture
face.
day.
And it was like the day before or the day of picture day. And I just like scarred you.
I'm sure my mom liked that for my
Mom-
picture.
Sorry, Kim.
Moms take picture day very seriously.
Yeah, she was probably like,
Oh, that darn BJ kid again.
I told you not to hang out with him and don't start a podcast with him in 20 years.
Nothing but trouble.
After Justin makes like the sliding catch, that's when his cheerleader lady's like, "Justin, I love you." Did she have a boyfriend that like? Oh yeah, I didn't mention, but the reason that Justin Long needed to get recruited to go to the cheerleading tournament was because the Chad did fall off
did in fact.
the roller coaster and break every bone in
Yes.
his body.
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
So maybe they were. I don't know. Maybe they weren't dating. We didn't get a lot of background on that.
Who knows?
I think that was the implication, or he was like really
Because of the implication.
He really
Because of the
wanted it.
implication. And as Justin is distracted by this proclamation of love, he gets beamed by White Goodman, who's like, Choni loves Chachi. Kate then goes on to do a diving sacrifice so Peter doesn't get eliminated. And as she's walking off the court, White then beams her in the face, and there's like a
right in the face.
There's like a pause in play as the ref can give him a warning.
That's score misconduct.
That's a warning.
That's a warning.
Waves the tassel.
Dangling the red tassel in front of his face.
And White's like, "We smell like grease monkeys out here. You can't expect me to hold on to a ball."
I thought she was in play.
I thought she was in play.
Then play restarts. It's a 2-on-1. Peter LaFleur versus Michelle and White Goodman.
Yep.
Peter
Real
manages
showdown.
to maneuver, keeps his head low, ducks and dives, eliminates Michelle, but as he's doing so, White nails him, gets him out. They go to celebrate, and there's actually the cut of this movie where it ends right here with the Average Joe's losing
and the
Globo Gym winning,
rules
which I do respect that they made that. That's kind of funny. But then
Should have kept it.
the ref calls a double fault. Double fault. You stepped over the line. You're out. And we see in the replay that White Goodman did indeed step over the line. And we're then sent.
It's a foot fault.
And then we're then sent to overtime. Sudden death.
Sudden death.
Peter,
Turn the lights down.
The lights are turned down.
Spotlight it.
F and A, Cotton. F and A.
I don't understand the rules of sudden death dodgeball, apparently, because why is it just them, and why does catching the ball do nothing? Shouldn't it just like...
I feel like that's harder to do.
And shouldn't White just be out for stepping over the line? Like, that's earlier in the movie, somebody got out by stepping over the line.
Yeah.
I suppose that's kind of a flaw.
Because White, like, his line step over shouldn't even... Like, the ball hitting Peter shouldn't even matter if White stepped over the line.
Yeah, unless it was like... Well... I mean, if he threw it before,
Sometimes in movies, you have to change the rules to make things a little more intense.
That is true. That is true.
No, I like reality. Like a nice dose of reality.
A nice dose.
A nice dose of truth.
A nice dose of truth. Well, maybe you should watch The Departed or something.
There you go. The Departed.
I will watch The Departed.
Are you a co-op?
I'm not a fucking co-op.
I'm not a fucking rat.
Are you a co-op? Are you a co-op?
I'm not a co-op. I'm not a co-op.
You have to tell me if you're a co-op. It's the law.
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe go fuck yourself.
Maybe you're a fucking rat.
I'm not a fucking rat.
I'm not a fucking rat.
You're a fucking rat. No, but you're not a rat, but you're a co-op.
You're not a rat, but you're a co-op. You a cop or you? Rats are outside of my certain side.
If a rat goes inside, is it a mouse? And if a mouse goes outside, is it a rat?
This morning he woke up dead. How the hell did he wake up dead?
You go wake up dead.
Can't go to bed dead and wake up alive. We damn never done it. That's because it's a rat, you fool.
That's because it's a rat. Come on now.
Anyways, before the sudden death throwdown, we do get a brief moment to where they get a last opportunity to talk some shit to each other, and Peter ends it with a "You look awful fat in those pants." And as White's walking away, you can like see him grab his ass. Like
perfect way to attack White Goodman.
That's another.
Tell him he's fat.
Right, the self-esteem.
Another example of Ben Stiller's good like facial reactions. Like when he says he looks fat in those pants, he's like looks like 1,000-year stare almost.
Immediately, yeah.
He knows. Yeah. He knows how to look.
He does well. He does, yeah. That there Ben Stiller knows how to look his face. I tell you what.
Gotta give it to the guy.
And,
Can't be taught.
So they turn back to get ready for the sudden death, and Peter pulls out the towel, Patch's towel, and he like looks into it for some inspiration. He's like, "All right, Patches, what do I need to do?" And we see like the ghostly image,
the Force ghost of Patches O'Houlihan.
the Force ghost of Patches O'Houlihan. He's like,
he's able to talk to him.
"You can do it. I believe in you. Bye bye.
Bye bye."
And he faces away. And Peter ties on the blindfold as a bit of a throwback to the training sequence when Patches threw it to him. Yeah, exactly.
Patches O'Houlihan.
And the commentating team is bewildered by
not gonna be able to see very well
by the choice of the blindfold. And White reaches out for the ball intensely. The crowd gasps. And he's like, Air Goodman coming at you. Tosses the ball at Peter. Peter does a matrix dodge.
Really dodges it well.
Flies right by him. Goes down to a knee. Grabs the ball. Nails White Goodman to win the game.
Incredible.
In the tournament.
You know,
Win the tournament.
if you zoom out on that shot, Peter actually stepped out of the triangle.
Do you have to keep, maybe it's a foot in at all times type of thing?
I thought the referee said, and I could be mistaken, thought the referee said you must keep both feet inside the triangle at all times.
He might, I think he might have said that.
So,
but replay.
It honestly is for a split second in the movie. You see it, but you see Peter and one of his legs is clearly extended and he's in a squat position, and he is outside of the triangle. Maybe
we'll have to ask Gordon if there's any more
Average
stipulations.
May have.
I don't know the rules. I'm not very familiar with the American Dodgeball Association of America rules.
Yeah. We have to
So
get the
I
rule
don't
book.
know.
Well, regardless, the ref didn't call it.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Sometimes
the
the
call
ref-
was final.
Sometimes the ref just misses stuff.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, the call was
part of the
final.
game.
You're right. Just like baseball,
It
how
happens
the
in, like,
miss
every-
balls and strikes. It's part of the game.
It happens in every professional wrestling match ever. So
The
The
refs
ref gets distracted.
the ref gets distracted.
they don't pay a lot of attention.
No, they get just like a gust of wind comes and they get knocked out. For
Yeah, it happens,
30
dude.
seconds.
Honestly. Well, the Joes are celebrating. This confetti. Everybody's making out with each other. We see Justin's got his lady. Dwight's got a couple of ladies. It's good vibes all around for the Joes.
Happy endings for all.
And I've said about 400 times on this pod.
You better stop.
I'm trying to. Every time I say it, I'm like, quit saying that.
I've been keeping a tally every time.
Shatner presents the Joes with their award.
Well, who else would?
And we're then revealed that Peter actually signed over Average Joe's to White the night when they were trying to make the deal. We're like, what the hell?
Yeah, he bought a. Yeah.
What's going on here? And then some casino workers roll up. I said it again. They roll up with like a coffin treasure chest full, and they're like, Peter, here's your winnings.
Winnings. Winnings.
Winnings. And it's full of cash.
Cash.
And we learned
It's
that
full of cash.
it's full of
Look,
cash.
Drake, a wallet.
Said
It's
it's
full of
Craig
cash. I'm Craig Ramirez.
Craig's mom thinks cell phones cause ear sores.
Craig does get a lot of ear sores.
Papa Nichols.
Buying Papa Nichols through Eric's cell phone at a wall. And Craig's mom thinks cell phones cause ear sores.
Craig does get a lot of ear sores.
Call my uncle. He sold the boat.
Why didn't you give him why didn't you just give him one of your shirts? He wanted more with a panda on it.
Dude, why do you have a tattoo of a foot on your chest?
I don't know.
Well, stupid.
It is so stupid. Well, after the
Hey Drake,
after
your mom's hot.
Bob's hot. Candlelight.
That's the last one.
Kind of romantic. The cameraman is gone home.
My camera's on the tripod.
And I'm alone.
I'm cold.
There's no restroom nearby. Gotta keep cranking it. My arm's getting tired.
My arm's getting tired.
Some Drake and Josh quotes for you. Get ready to hear a lot of those on the course of the show.
I'm done.
Let's backtrack a moment here. Oh, so it's White reveals that the gym was signed over in the backroom deal that they made, and he says, "Suck failure, freaks." And after the winnings are presented, White winnings. What winnings? White is like, I wouldn't say Average Joe's for all of King Midas's silver.
King Midas is silver.
But Peter reveals that I don't think I said this, but Peter put the winnings are from Peter putting all the money.
Peter picked a pickled pickled peppers.
Which won him a lot of money at the casino because the odds were ridiculous for the Average Joes to beat the powerhouse that was
They were
Globo
just
Gym.
average.
And it's revealed that Globo Gym is a publicly traded company, which is a little throwback to the I got shareholders. Your gym doesn't even have cup holders.
Oh yeah, it came back to bite him in the ass.
So essentially, Peter is going to buy up Globo Gym shares to the point where he owns the company completely.
Basically,
not sure if it works that way, but that's how it does in early 2000s comedies.
That's how it did. You got the gym back. It's a bar.
You got the gym back. It seems like it could be about a bar as well, quite easily.
Could be any establishment.
And
could be a barber shop.
Steve the Pirate returns in standard
bowling
clothing.
I don't know.
Hey Peter. He's like trying not to talk
sound
as a
weird.
Yeah.
And
I said it
again. That's all I can think about now. Oh, that's another
Calls
tally.
like tally.
Peter's like, who am I going to share all this buried treasure with? He's like, Garg. Peter. And the gang makes the cover of OSQ, Obscure Scores Quarterly, ending in a wholesome commercial for Joe's as kind of a mirror of the "we're better than you and we know it" vibe that Globo Gym gave at the beginning. We see a memorial to Patches in the commercial. And there's the shot of White Goodman in his shitty little apartment. Now back to his 600-pound lifestyle. And he's the one watching the gym commercial.
I won that tournament.
I won that tournament. The milkshake brings all the boys to the eye.
Fucking Chuck Norris.
Fucking Chuck Norris.
And credits on Dodgeball, A True Underdog Story.
Top 5.
That was... I'm really glad to watch that again as an adult was pretty entertaining.
Such a good movie, man.
It's so hilarious. I have a few things that I didn't say.
Lay it on me.
Did we talk about the commentary thing when
didn't.
Ben Stiller gets in a fight with like 2 other actors? It's
the DVD commentary.
The DVD commentary is
Yeah,
Ben Stiller
it's staged.
and 2 other actors. They like start arguing with each other and it gets heated. And then about 40 minutes in, they change the commentary to the there's something about married commentary, which is I think it's funny.
That's pretty funny.
And the original title of the movie was just Underdog, but there's also a movie called Underdog that came out in 2007.
About football.
Not about football.
No, I thought it was about
a superhero dog,
That's
voiced by
right.
Jason Lee.
Sorry.
And starring Jim Belushi as well.
Oh, that has
Jason
to be
Lee
an
of My Name Is Earl?
movie. I'm sure that's an incredible.
Hey, Earl.
Hey, Crabman.
Hey, Crabman.
And if you haven't seen My Name Is Earl, you should watch My Name Is Earl.
Hey, Earl.
That's
Hey,
funny.
Crabman.
And that's it. That's all. That's it. Anything interesting?
BJ, do you have anything else to add?
I don't have anything else to add. It's a phenomenal movie. I mean, I grew up with that movie, man.
That's a good way to put it. That's a movie I definitely grew up with.
Yeah.
It's the best movie about dodgeball of all time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's undisputed.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's undisputed for sure.
Yeah.
Well, if there's nothing else we'd like to add today, I think that might be the end of episode 2 of Aiming for the Bushes.
Episode 2. What a milestone.
What I mean,
What a milestone.
That's
It's
2
farther-
more episodes than I've ever made.
Farther than I thought we would.
It's 2 more than I thought we'd do.
Yeah.
But thank you all for tuning in,
Thanks, loyal listeners.
and we'll see you all again very soon.
Don't forget to aim for the bushes.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.